Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really groundbreaking drug called Rituximab. This is the story of how it completely changed the game in medicine.
Okay, so here's the big question, right? How can one single drug fight something like cancer and arthritis? They seem totally different. Well, the answer is pretty incredible. It's because this drug acts like a biological smart bomb.
So before we get into how this smart bomb works, we've got to understand what it's aiming for. And to do that, we need to talk about a specific kind of immune cell, one that's usually on our side.
See, normally, our B cells are the heroes of the story. Their job is to create antibodies that fight off infections. But sometimes, these good cells go bad. In cancers like lymphoma, they just start multiplying like crazy, completely out of control. And in autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, they get confused and start attacking our own healthy tissues. They become the villains.
All right, so you've got these rogue cells causing all sorts of problems. What do you do? Well, scientists came up with a new kind of weapon. And this is where our smart bomb, Rituximab, enters the picture. It's this incredibly engineered drug that's designed to do one thing: hunt down only the bad B cells and leave all the healthy stuff alone. Now, this isn't your typical drug that you just pop in a pill. No way. Rituximab is a seriously high-tech piece of engineering. It's a protein, what's called a monoclonal antibody, which means it's made in a lab to mimic the antibodies your own body makes, but this one has a very, very specific mission. And to get even more specific, it's what's known as a chimeric antibody. Now, that sounds complicated, but it's actually a super clever idea. They took the part of a mouse antibody that's fantastic at finding the target and fused it with parts of a human antibody. Why? So it's super effective, but our own immune system doesn't freak out and reject it. It's kind of the best of both worlds.
And here's the absolute key to the whole thing. This sophisticated drug has just one target, and one target only, a protein called CD20. And this protein is found almost exclusively on the surface of B cells. That right there, that's the secret to its incredible precision.
Okay, so what actually happens when rituximab finds its target? When it locks onto that CD20 protein on a B cell, it doesn't just, poke it. It unleashes this devastating three-pronged attack to make absolutely sure that cell is taken out.
First off, it's like putting up a giant neon sign on the B cell, flagging it for destruction by other immune cells. Then, it kicks off this chain reaction in the blood that literally punches holes in the cell's wall until it bursts. And if that's not enough, just the act of binding to the B cell can trigger an internal self-destruct command. It is thorough, to say the least.
So, with a weapon this powerful and this precise, it's no wonder it's being used on two totally different medical battlefields. And this brings us right back to that question we started with.
And you can see its amazing versatility right here. On the cancer front, in oncology, it's a huge deal for treating B-cell cancers like non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. But then you flip over to autoimmune diseases, and it's used for things like rheumatoid arthritis, where it takes out the B cells that are causing all that friendly fire damage to the body.
Okay, so we've got the science down. But what's it actually like for a patient? What does it feel like to have this smart bomb put into your body?
Well, first things first, this is not a pill you can just pick up from the pharmacy. No, rituximab is given intravenously. That means through an IV drip straight into a vein, and it's almost always done in a hospital or a specialized clinic.
And the whole process is handled with a ton of care. Before the infusion even starts, patients get what's called pre-medication, stuff like antihistamines, to help stop side effects before they start. That first dose is given really, really slowly, sometimes over hours, with a medical team watching your vital signs like a hawk for any hint of a problem.
And there's a very good reason for all that caution. Those infusion-related reactions, we're talking fever, chills, maybe a rash, they are by far the most common side effect. It happens a lot with the first dose, as your body is kind of going, whoa, what is this new protein?
But it's not just about that. There are more serious risks to think about. You're wiping out a key part of your immune system, right? So that naturally increases your risk of getting infections. It can even wake up dormant viruses that are already in your body, like hepatitis B. That's exactly why patients get screened so carefully before they even start treatment.
But even with those risks, you just can't deny its impact. Rituximab really was a massive milestone in medicine. The ability to go in and surgically target just the rogue cells without all the collateral damage you get with traditional chemotherapy, well, it has absolutely revolutionized treatment for millions of people.
And that just leaves you with this really powerful thought, doesn't it?
We've seen what happens, the incredible impact when we learn how to target just one type of cell. So, as our medical smart bombs get even smarter, even more precise, you have to wonder, what diseases are we going to target next?